Next section, psychometric assessment of personality or personality assessment. Overview. Personality is the field within psychology that studies the thought, feelings, behaviors, goals, and interests of normal individuals. Personality assessment, the measurement of personal characteristics. Assessment is an end result of gathering information intended to advance psychological theory and research and to increase the probability that decision will be made in applied setting. Example, in selecting the most promising people from a group of job applications. In order to refine clinical diagnosis, structure and inform psychological interventions, and increase the accuracy of behavioral prediction in a variety of contexts and settings. Example, clinical, forensic, organizational, educational. Can you define personality assessment? It is a proficiency in professional psychology that involves the administration, scoring, and interpretation of empirically supported measures of personality traits. Methods or types of personality assessment. Important types are: first, subjective methods; second, objective methods; third, projective techniques; four, the psychoanalytic method; five, physical test method or physiological methods. Look at this flowchart. Methods of personality assessment: subjective method, objective method, projective method, and psychoanalytical method. The subjective methods are autobiography, case history, interview, questionnaire. The objective methods are miniature life, situation test, unobserved observation, psychological measures, rating scale. The projective techniques are Rorschach's test, thematic appreciation test, children's appreciation test, Tantophone, play techniques, word association test, picture association test, incomplete sentence techniques. The psychoanalytical test including free association test and dream analysis method. First, we are going to detail about the subjective methods. The subjective methods are those in which the individual is permitted to disclose what he knows about himself as an object of observation. They are based on what the subject himself has to say about his traits, attitudes, personal experiences, aims, needs, and interests. Some of important subjective methods are: first, the autobiography; second, the case study; 3, the interview; 4, detail going on. First, the autobiography. The autobiography is a narration by the individual, given either freely or according to certain subject heading provided by the examiner of his experiences throughout life, of his present aims, purposes, interests, and attitudes. The subject has freedom in selecting experiences which are of significance to him, and these reveal his personality. The disadvantage is that what the subject out of his life is that part of his experience which he is willing to reveal. Second, case history. The case history is dependent to a great or less extent upon the autobiography. In a case history, we integrate the information that we obtain from various sources about the individual. This requires many interviews with the individual and other person who know the individual. The case study technique gives information about the individual's parents and grandparents, his home background, his medical history, his educational career, his friendship, his marital life, his profession, and others. This method is more useful in understanding the personality patterns of an individual who is a problem or is maladjusted. 3. The interview. The interview is the most common method of judging personality. The interview questions or lets the individual speak freely to get a clear picture of the individual. From what he says, the interview knows about his interests, problems, assets, and limitations. The chief dimension in respect to which the interview may vary in the rigidity or flexibility with which the interviewer holds to a pre-decided outline or schedule of questions or topics. At times, it is useful to have a definite list of points to be covered. Greater skill is needed in free interviews, which are not restricted by a list of definite points or questions. The interviewer evaluates personality traits not only from the contents of answers to questions asked, but also from the dogmatism with which the news is experienced by the interest shown by vocabulary or incidental references which the subject employs unwittingly in his conversation. And by observing his hesitations, his emotionality, and the like. The limitation of the method is that it is subjective and is less valid than one believes it to be. 4. Questionnaires. Questionnaires are a series of printed are written questions which the individual is supposed to answer. Ordinarily, the subject is expected to answer each question by checking or underlying yes or no provided against the question. The investigator counts the number of yeses and nos, thus is in a position to state whether a certain individual possesses certain traits or not. The questions are statements provided describe certain traits, emotions, attitudes or behaviors in situations revealing personality. The yeses or nos are counted in certain groups or section depending on the traits to be indicated by positive or negative answers. The limitation of this device is that the subject may not be willing to reveal correct facts about himself or may not be in conscious possessions of these facts. The method at its best exposes that part of personality which is explicit or available to the subject's scrutiny. Some of the well-known personality questionnaires are the Bell Adjustment Inventory, the Bisborn Social Adjustment Inventory. The Indian Statistical Institute has also released a short personality inventory. Second, objective methods, detail going on. The objective methods do not depend on the subject's own statements about himself, but on his over behavior as exposed to others who serve as observers, examiners or judges. The subject, as far as possible, is observed or studied in certain life situations where his particular traits, habits, needs and other characteristics are brought into play and can thus be observed directly by the examiner. Some of the objective methods are miniature life situations, unobserved observation, physiological measures and rating scales. First, we are going to detail about in miniature life situations. In miniature life situations, artificial situations resembling real life situations are created and the subject's reactions and behavior are observed and evaluated. Situations involving honesty, cooperation, persistence and teamwork can be created and the subject's behaviors may be noted and judged accordingly. For selection of leaders in the army, this method is often used with great advantage. Reaction to failure and successes may also be evaluated by putting subject in situations where they fail and get frustrated or gratified. Second, the method of unobserved observation. The method of unobserved observation is quite popular in child development centers of guidance clinics. The individual is asked to perform some task, is left himself. His behavior is observed through a one-way mirror, screen or other devices, and he is observed by a hidden microphone setup several days together. Or the subject is observed by more than one person and the observations are pooled together. Of course, before observation is started, certain decisions must be arrived as to what to observe. One great case that is to be taken in this method is the distinction between what is observed and what is interpreted. 3. In rating scales. In rating scale, we rate an individual of the position or absence of certain traits on a certain scale. The individual is given a place on the scale or a score which indicates the degree to which a person possesses a given behavior trait. For example, if we want to rate students on their sociability, we might ask 3 or 4 supervisors or teachers to point out the place of each student on the scale, which may be as follows. Avoids others, tolerates others, likes others well, seeks others. This scale has 5 degrees of the traits to be rates, that is, this is 5-point scale. Some scales have 3 or 7 degrees. The chief limitation of the rating scale lies in the fact that our rates should be well trained and should have definite knowledge of the variables. Often, the raters commit a mistake in that they assign estimates that cluster around the average point, if at all, towards the favorable direction of the scale. The rating scale can be used only by those who know the persons rated and who have observed them in respect of the trait for which they are rating them. The projective method of personality assessment. Detail going on. In these methods of techniques, the examiner does not observe the overt behavior of the subject, as in miniature life situations, nor does he ask the subject to state his opinion of his own behavior or his feeling about certain experiences. Instead, the subject is requested to behavior in an imaginative way, that is, by making up a story, interpreting ink plot, or constructing some objects out of plastic material and drawing what he wants. Thus, the subject is encouraged to project his thoughts, emotions, wishes, and other reactions freely in some situations which are provided. These methods are thus intended to show the underlying traits, moods, attitudes, and fantasies that determine the behavior of the individual in actual situations. The assumption that underlying the use of projective method is that in what he perceives in his unstructured and indefinite environment and what he says about it, an individual shows his innermost characteristics or his personality. Features of projective techniques. First feature, the stimulus material is generally neutral, more or less undefined, so that the subject can easily leave an impression of his personality on it. Second, the psychological reality rather than the actual reality of the subject's world is important. His wishes, his attitudes, beliefs, ideals, conflicts, and fantasies. Three, implicit or unconscious aspects of the personality are source in these techniques, and psychodynamic principles therefore play an important part in interpretations. 4. An untrained interpreter is likely to project his own biases and fantasies into his interpretations of the subject's predictions. Some of the important projective techniques are: first, Rorschach's ink plot test; second, thematic appreciation test TAT; 3, children's appreciation test CAT; 4, the tantophone is introduced by P.F. Skinner; 5, play technique; 6, word association test; 7, picture association test; 8, the incomplete sentence technique. First, we are going to detail about Rorschach's ink plot test, developed by Swiss psychologist Hermann Rorschach. Consists of 10 ink plots having symmetrical designs. 5 of these cards are in black and white, 2 with splashes of red, 3 in other colors. Look at this picture. 10 ink plots. 5 black and white, 2 splashes of red, 3 other colors. The test is usually administered individually. When the card is shown or placed before the client, he is asked to tell what he sees in the ink blot or what it means to him or what this might be. In the second phase, called the enquiry, the examiner ascertains more fully not only what the person sees but also what and how he sees it. The third phase, called testing the limits, the examiner tries to ascertain whether the subject responds to the color, shading and other meaningful aspects of ink plots, or whether the whole or parts of the plots are used by the subject in his responses. All these responses are then subjected to a scoring system. The interpretation follows. The scoring categories of the test, such as movement and color, are interpreted as signifying distinct functions of the personality: intellectual creativity, outgoing emotionality, practical mindedness, and the like. From norms based on work with subjects in various well-characterized groups: normal individuals, neurotics, and psychotics, the pattern of the subject's scores may be interpreted as belonging to one or another. Personality makeup. We need highly trained personnel to administer and interpret Rorschach's test, and it is a time-consuming test. There are its limitations. Second, the thematic appreciation test, TAT, developed by Murray and Morgan, 1935, consists of series of 20 pictures. The person is asked to tell the story that each one suggests to him. These pictures are arranged in appropriate groups for male and female adults and for children. Look at this thematic pictures. On each picture, the subject tells the story by identifying the characters, explaining their relationship to each other, describing what preceded the situation shown in the picture, and stating an outcome. The record of story is analyzed according to major theories: the hero, sexual interests, vocational ambitions, family conflicts, and social status, etc. The recurrence of a given topic or the theme is to be noted carefully. This theme projects implicit attitudes, habits of thought, ideals, and drives of the subject, as well as the characteristics of the other characteristics: father, mother, brother, sister. husband and wife. The Rorschach test light on the structure of personality, whereas the TAT light on the functioning of personality. The test is quite popular in India and attempts have been made to adopt it for Indian conditions. 3. Children's Appreciation Test, CAT. This test was constructed block in 1948. It is used to assess the personality of children up to 12 years of age. Young children are very much interested in listening to stories about animals and in playing with animals. Before administering the test, psychologist establishes report with the chief so as to begin his operation. CAT bring to light the child's repressive desires. 4. The Tatophone introduced by P.F. Skinner. Here the subject is advised to listen while a phonograph reproduces at low intensity various speech samples in a man's voice. The subject is asked to say what comes to his mind as he listens to each speech sample in much the same way that is might interpret an inkpot. Thus, it is the auditory Rorschach's technique. 5. Play techniques. Play techniques are more applicable to children than to adults. The subject is allowed and encouraged to construct scans by using dolls, toys, blocks, and other building materials. This technique has both diagnostic and therapeutic value and is frequently used in child guidance clinics. 6. Word association test. Another commonly used technique is a word association method in which the subject is presented with a list of words one at a time with the instruction to respond with the first word that enters his mind. The examiner notes the time required for giving each response. The responses themselves departures from the average amount of time and the count of unusual responses help us to identify certain attitudes, anxieties or sentiments. 7. Picture association test. A recent projective technique is the picture association method, in which pictures of social situations are substituted for words as the stimulus material. The picture frustration study of Rosenzweig is well-known technique of this type. Recently it has been adopted in India by Uday Park. It consists of 24 cartoons-like drawings representing everyday situations of frustration, stress involving his individuals, one of whom is usually shown as frustrating the other. The subject is asked to write or say in the blank caption box above the head of the frustrated individual The first association that comes into his mind as appropriate. Then association reveal areas of conflict, anxieties and stress in the life of the individual. 8. The incomplete sentence technique. The incomplete sentence techniques given by Rotter, Stinn and many others is a type of paper and pencil personality inventory which has feature of an association test as well as of projective technique. The subject is represented with a number of incomplete sentences which he finishes in any way that he likes. A specimen of this technique is given below. Look at this, incomplete sentences. It is said the politicians supplied rebel wishes, anxieties, conflicts, healthy or unhealthy attitudes. The examiner tries to see the total pattern of attitudes and feelings in the series of responses and uses it as part of the total study of the individual. Next type of personality assessment is that the psychoanalytic method. This method was propounded by Sigmund Freud, the father of school of psychoanalysis. Two types of tests in the psychoanalytic method of investigation of personality are very popular. First, free association test. Second, dream analysis method. Both these tests show the peculiarities of the personality in its unconscious aspect. In the dream analysis, the subject describes his dream and without using the mind, meaning thereby unrestricted state of the mind associates, freely the dream objects and activities. Because of the absence of the mental element, the truth of the unconscious mind is expressed by which the psychoanalyst discovers many peculiarities of a character. Its main difficulty lies in the need for a skilled and experienced psychoanalyst. Often, the psychoanalyst analyzes his own mind in order to remove the possibility of any prejudice. 5. Physical test method or physiological methods. In physiological methods of assessment of personality, following instruments are commonly used. First, nemographic. It is used for measuring the rate of respiratory activity of the individual. Second, plethysmography. It is used for measuring the individual's blood pressure. Third, seismography. It is used for measuring the activity of heart. 4. Electrocardiograph. It is used for measuring the activity of heart. 5. Electroencephalograph. It is used for measuring the electrical activity in the human brain. 6. Graphology. The individual's personality is assessed through a study of his handwriting. 7. Electromyogram. It is used for measuring muscular activity. Thank you. Have a good day.